It's the 2K Sports pregame show, sponsored by Kia.
This is the NBA.
Heartbreak it in half. Say something, do it soon. It's too quiet in this room. I need no.
That's a great look at our location tonight. The home of the Suns here in downtown Phoenix. Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with... And before the game gets underway... Thank you, David. Midway point of the season, games starting to add up now. Doris, how do the players keep the mental side of their game sharp and efficient?
I think the veterans have always told me, Kevin, that part of that is you just get in a rhythm and a routine. So if you're on the road, you do a certain thing at a certain time of day. You're going to have your meals at a particular point. You're going to head to the arena on the first bus, the second bus. There's a real rhythm and routine in making sure you're staying sharp. So
routine brings sharpness. Is that what you're saying?
I would say that that's a big part of it.
Big part of it. So here's Miami's starting group. Dragic is out there with Avery Bradley. Then it's James Johnson. Then it's Johnson. And it's Bosh in at the 4 spot. 4 on the clock. Yes, that goes in. Bledsoe's got the opening bucket of the night here for the Suns.
I'll tell you what, he signed that $70 million contract back in 2014. When he's been healthy, Bledsoe's been worth every single penny.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It goes on Eric Bledsoe. Miami shooting their first shots from the free throw line tonight. And that one falls for Bosh. Both free throws good from Bosh.
Among the league's big men, he stands out for his free throw shooting. He's always steady there.
Bender kicks to Bledsoe. Pass to Williams. Booker in the corner. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. Booker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And it's Dragic off the drive, and a strong finish with 2 hands.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
It couldn't have come at a better time. With the score being as close as it is, he had to make that play.
There's a good screen. Williams up on top. Back to Bledsoe. The rebound by Johnson. On defense, Phoenix. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
And one of the factors, Kevin, that really hurt them in that game, the lack of success at the foul line. We all know how much those free throw woes can cost you.
And free throws are especially difficult on the road. The crowd noise can affect what you're thinking, and it's a challenge. And it was obviously a challenge they were dealing with.
The Heat have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
And taking a look at their free throw statistics on the season, right around 74%.
And he makes the first. And for the Suns, a lot was made of players wanting out and demanding trades. Doris, maybe their biggest obstacle has been the health of Eric Bledsoe.
Right, it's debatable, Kevin. Top 20, top 30 when he's healthy, but he's now torn his meniscus in both knees. This is a player with elite athleticism, and that's part of what makes him special. Injuries tough to predict and can force a franchise to revise their timelines.
Ulis kicks to Warren. Pass to Booker. Pulls it from 20. Bradley with some nice D.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position. You could see the frustration on his face.
And Johnson with the stuff.
A bit undersized for that power forward, but boy, does he get in the air so quick. Such great lift.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Ulis dishes to Booker. Good ball movement here by the Suns. Ulis kicks to Williams. Just 5 to shoot. Bender, no good. The Heat leading by 3. The pass to Johnson. Right side Bosch. Williams with the steal. To the middle. Here's Bender. Good. The nice assist for Williams.
And Bender is certainly a work in progress down there, but when he gets good position, he uses his body well to get the shot he wants.
For Phoenix, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip.
And Dragan Bender, playing professionally in Europe from his mid-teens, never intimidated. He plays with a motor and an aggression that you love to see.
It's his first trip to the line.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
That one is off.
And Bender's one of those guys just oozing with potential. A big man who runs the floor well and uses his size down close to the basket.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for Johnson. And the second free throw, good. For Miami, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Dragic, the pass to Bosch. Back to Dragic. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor. And Bender standing 7'1" with a 9'3" standing reach. He has the length to play center, but he still has to get stronger.
Well, you have to remember, he didn't turn 19 until just before the start of the season. He'll add muscle over time, but for right now, he has the mobility and skill to play forward.
Dragic dishes to Johnson. Back to Dragic. Here's Bosch. Williams with the block. That's tipped. Bosch gets to Ariza. And it's slammed in by Ariza.
And that's up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
On the wing, Williams. Bender with the screen for Williams. Ariza against Warren. Williams passes to Bender. Just 4 to shoot. It's up a 3 and no good. And Miami the other way now. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Well, it's no doubt. It's so much easier to run your offense if the defense is not trying to take away any of your options.
Kicks it out to Ariza. Out to the right wing. Here's Bosch. Bosch with another miss. Suns have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Here's Bender, and Bender throws it down.
And when a 7-footer like Bender is taking it to the rim like that, it's terrifying for the D. That's almost impossible to guard.
Bradley can't get it to go.
Boy, he usually knocks that down with that much space.
A nice shot by Booker.
Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
The Heat trail by 3. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Here's Bosch. Miami no good on that time either.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Now the dish to Ulis. Booker against Bradley. Booker outside. And the wide open shot from Warren. And no good trying to get that one. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Suns ahead. They lead by 3. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And Eric Bledsoe, off the charts athleticism, skills out the door. He talks about the thing he's focusing on most.
The main one is making the playoffs. You know, we fall short every year. And that was pretty much, for me, a big thing I kind of, held on to once the season was over. I put in a lot of work, and, it's paying off, right now.
Raw but ultra-talented when he entered the league, Bledsoe now seems ready to take on that full responsibility, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he played in the shadow of John Wall in college, Chris Paul with the Clippers, but now Bledsoe has a chance to cast his own shadow.
Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And from what we've seen, guys, from the Suns, what are you thinking so far?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Relying on a quick outlet pass, racing the ball up court, guys filling the lanes. They clearly want this to be attractive.
Bledsoe a ninth, the playmaking guard set. Omer Ashik is out there with Alex Len, and it's Dudley in at the 3 spot. That's who's out there for Phoenix. David Lee, a former two-time All-Star. You go back 3 seasons. Doris, he was averaging 18 points and 9 rebounds a game for Golden State.
Yeah, but Kev, think about the emergence of Draymond Green in Golden State. Lee had been left looking for minutes, so he bounces around from Boston to Dallas. In today's NBA, it's tough for big men who aren't big-time shooters or defenders.
Inside Leaner, trying to get open as Johnson. No good from Lee. Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Alex Len picks one up.
No, what actually impresses you about David Lee is his ball handling and passing ability for a big man. But when you think that he actually played on the perimeter in high school, it makes sense.
And Lee, as the story goes, broke his wrist in high school, and that's how he learned to finish so well with either hand around the basket.
And I think that's exactly, Kevin, what makes him a tough cover on the low block. When his jump shot is falling, boy, this guy's a handful.
Bledsoe kicks to Ashik. 6 on the shot clock. Unloads and misses it off the right side of the rim. The Heat trail by 4. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the 10th pick in the draft can sometimes be a diamond in the rough. You remember Paul Pierce went to the Celtics many years ago with the 10th pick, and Justice Winslow fell to the Heat with the 10th pick a couple of years ago. From day one, Winslow has proven to be on the elite side of defenders in the league. Eric Spoelstra told us he plays with a veteran poise, but also with a youthful intensity, particularly on the defensive end. Kevin, he's been a great fit in Miami.
He just makes winning plays, D.A. Thank you. He dishes it to Len, and Bledsoe has it in the corner. The tray, and the Suns miss again. The Heat have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Lee passes to Mills. Good ball movement here by Miami. And it's Beverly missing, and it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for the Suns.
And they love to spread the floor with shooting. A lot of three-point attempts, and that's been the league-wide direction, and this group has been no exception.
Miami trailer. Mills dishes to Johnson. The shot goes down, and it gets this game back to even. Here's Bledsoe. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Clippers in Los Angeles. Knight on the wing. Out of bounds. Miami takes possession. Shooting at a high percentage. All teams aim to do that. Let's see the league's best. Number 1, the Heat.
Are just tremendously disciplined offensively, always looking for the best possible shot. That's how they've gotten that field goal percentage to skyrocket.
The Heat have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%.
Well, you watch Earl Watson coaching this Suns team. It's easy to see why they wanted him. He seems to connect really easily with these guys. Great motivator. Will always have this group fighting from start to finish.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Yeah, with the score this tight, someone has to come over and take the charge, or at least contest the shot. You know, it looked like their guys, he just sort of wasn't paying attention to the play, his surroundings. Those can be costly mistakes depending on the game situation.
Booker, he's checked in for the Suns. Etuan Moore comes in for Knight. The Heat also changing it up. Bosch comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Avery Bradley in for Patty Mills. Bosch with the bucket. And with Watson, the coach, not only is he a great motivator, but he also knows how to develop all the young players on the roster.
Well, I think, Kevin, initially Watson was brought in to help with player development, and that's the exact kind of background you want right now if you're the Suns. And first and foremost, Watson brings leadership to this ball club.
On the wing, Johnson dishes it to Bach. Feeds it to Beverly. 4 on the shot clock. Bradley, that's for 2. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. They can look forward to the American Airlines Center after this game. They'll match up against Dallas. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. Here's Len. And the shot no good, a bit short.
They were right there on him, guys. When you take away space from a shooter, it can rattle and force a miss like they did there.
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling. Bledsoe against Beverly. No good from Bledsoe.
I'll tell you, they're fighting the good fight, but he's not helping a difficult situation by missing this way.
And Beverly kicks to Johnson. A three-pointer is right on target. And it's a 7-point Heat lead.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
To the middle, Lee with the steal. Johnson outside. Right wing. Bledsoe against Beverly. Soft touch off the glass. And the Heat lead by 9.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Up top, Bledsoe. Defended by Beverly. 2 points. That one goes. Bledsoe's got 4 this quarter.
He'll take on all comers. Bledsoe loves to challenge the defense on the interior.
Here's Lee. And so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here. First free throw is good.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
And so David Lee nails them both.
He does a great job of drawing contact and getting himself to the line, something he didn't do in the first period.
Passes to Ulis. That'll do it for the first half. Miami ahead. They finish off the second quarter with an energy burst, a 19-4 run. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, what did you change up in the second quarter?
Well, we showed a little bit more toughness, certainly on the defensive end. And even though they have great shot blocking, we're still able to attack and have some tough misses, but that's our aggressive style.
The key will be to stay in attack mode. Thanks, Bo. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to review the first half of action. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. They kept at it on both ends of the floor, and at the end of the period, they had a slight deficit of 3 points. In the second quarter, they turned on the afterburners, making a big charge to jump ahead and build a 9-point lead for themselves at halftime. Let's hear from you, Shaq, on the Heat first half.
Well, one thing that stands out is how few turnovers they had. The offense looked in control. They were making nice passes, moving the ball, setting screens. The confidence just seemed to build, and the lead did too. They're a very steady team, keeping those turnovers down. That's the big factor.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Phoenix?
I look at the lack of free throw attempts as a key indicator. Because the funny thing about getting to the charity stripe, you have to earn it. You have to put your body in harm's way and be physically willing to take the hit. Right now, one team's playing aggressively and the other team isn't. That's the big difference in the score.
And that about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. Yeah. I think Kevin Harlan should call the second half. How about you?
I agree.
Yeah, just like he did the first half.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Nice game. Great performance by James Johnson.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
You know, he's getting the ball in a place where he can do something with it, and he hasn't had to force one thing. The game seems like it's coming to him naturally.
There's always on the hot list of topics as teams each year try to increase their odds at winning a championship. What do you feel are the key ingredients for a championship caliber team?
Talent, first and foremost.
Sure.
I mean, you think about some of the great stars who've won multiple championships. Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. One is talent. That's the first part. Coaching. I think coaching in the NBA is underrated. And then increasingly depth, because, of course, over the years, the season has gotten longer. The playoffs have gotten longer. It takes more players to win in the NBA than it probably used to.
Is the feel in the locker room overrated? Is the cohesion, the culture, is that important on that list?
You know, it's a terrific question. I do think you can win without chemistry. I certainly think for us, you can feel it when a team is connected and when they enjoy playing with one another.
Like Golden State.
No question about it.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. They've got James Johnson. Dragic is out there with Bradley. Then there's Chris Bosh, and it's Johnson in at the 5 down low. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. The Heat leading by 9. Down low. Stolen by Bender. And here's Warren for 3. And it's Miami with the rebound. Bosh has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Johnson, the pass to Johnson. Back to Johnson. And a minute played as the second half gets going. That shot off for 3. Bledsoe. And it's Bradley with the rebound. The Heat have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. Johnson, good.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And first time out of the game called for Phoenix.
Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
It's ridiculous to give up that many points in the paint. You know, I think he'd like them to play a bit more physical.
He's checked in for Avery Bradley.
And a moment now to look at the stats for Dragic. How his last 10 games have gone. He's averaging 6 points a game, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. Not his best production, and I expect him to break through and get back on track soon.
Williams with the ball. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Bender with the bucket.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
I think defensively, they've got to get their heads in the game. Judging by that play, they've come out of the locker room a little lethargic.
Here's Bosch. A stupendous finish in traffic. Bosch has got the lead up to 11 now for the Heat.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And Bender can really score in a hurry. He's very good at making the defense guess wrong, feasting on every error they make.
Johnson kicks to Mills. Johnson left side. Clock at 6. Mills can't hit. For Phoenix, they've gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Booker, right side. It's not going to go for him. Bosch with some nice D. Ball's knocked loose, and it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Bledsoe.
Well, you want a young player who can just explode for points on any given night, and that guy is Devin Booker. He does it in just about every way you want from a wing. He can hit from deep, he can pull up jumper, or he can go right at the rim and finish.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Omer Ashe, he's checked in for Bender. Alex Len comes in for Williams. And it's Brandon Knight in for Booker. Suns trail by 11. And as a rookie, Booker had a few games where he showed just how great he can be, Doris. Scored 30 or more points 6 times his first year.
And you know, Kevin, very few players reach that number in their first year. That's elite company. But Booker's big strength will be his shooting. Incredible range. Even in his first year, you think about pulling up and draining it from 5 feet behind the line.
Dragic kicks to Bosch. And Chris Bosch with the slam.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Yeah, they may have gotten the feeling he would dish it off, but he had a surprise for them.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And so many forward players do go into broadcasting after their playing days. And Doris, when did you know that was a possibility for you?
Oh, I fell into this business, Kevin. Make no mistake, because I'll tell you, I had it all going on in college. Bad hair, bad clothes, bad teeth, you name it. Only thing I cared about in college was whether my jumper could match my dribble drive.
But you made the great transformation.
I'll tell you, I fell into it. I left coaching at Providence, and they put their games on radio and said, hey, why don't you give this a try? And little by little, sure, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, and next thing you know, I'm calling NBA games.
And we know coaches are so prepared. It comes out in your broadcast, too. I'm sure you have the same mindset toward broadcast that you did coaching.
Well, I think, you know, if you're going to have any kind of success in life, it's about how much are you willing to pour into what you do. And because the game has always meant so much to me, you know how it is. We don't consider what we do work.
Right.
Preparation is fun. Watching games is fun. Calling games is fun.
Well, it comes out in your broadcast. Here's Hewlett. Bosch with some nice D.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And Beverly kicks to Lee. Ariza outside. Back to Lee. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From 11 feet away. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Lee's got 8 points.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Phoenix calls timeout.
And he clearly doesn't like what's going on out there right now.
He's upset. You know, there's no attention to detail over these last couple of minutes.
Jared Dudley's checked in for Omer Ashe.
And checking out the numbers for Ulis. How his last 10 games have gone. Getting around 12 points a game, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds. And he has been passing the ball like a virtuoso. That's what really stands out about these recent performances.
1:46 left in the third quarter of the game. Miami leading by 14. Here's Ariza, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, some great passers have come into the league this season. Let's see which rookies are tops in assists. Tyler Ulis, number 1.
He's just ahead of his years as far as vision and recognition on the offensive end. A talented playmaker. He is only going to get better.
Free throw good, Ariza. One of the topics, Doris, that's come up recently relates to the NBA scheduling with all the talk of trying to delete these back-to-back games. Players don't want it. Their performance isn't good. A lot of them will sit and rest, which is kind of cheating the fan that pays a lot of money to go see a big star play, and then he's not going to play because it's the 3rd and 4 nights.
Correct, and you and I have talked about this. You can shorten the exhibition season, Kevin, go from 10 to 12 to down to 3 to 4. I think that the teams will benefit from that. You can start the season just a little bit earlier. It's so crucial that the NBA product be as good as it should be, and the way to do that is to make sure 4 and 5 and back-to-backs are reduced to the greatest measure possible.
You don't run a championship horse day after day, night after night.
I'm not cracking the whip on you or anybody else.
But you play every other day? That is a horse you can ride. Knight dishes to Ulis. Plan a screen. Here's more. Off target with his 3.
Boy, we know this guy has a lot of confidence in himself and will take that shot again if he gets a chance.
They get it again, and it's slammed in by Ariza.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength just like that.
You know, it's an invaluable asset to have. He's as tenacious down there as anyone.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
Mills passes to Lee. Looks for Bosch, gets it to him. Inside shot, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
That's his second personal foul.
3 trips to the line so far for him in this one.
He struggled mightily at the free throw line in their last game.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. And so Bosch nails both of them. Suns trail by 17. Now the feed to Dudley. Ulis kicks to Moore. Bender dishes to Williams. 1 second left. It's off. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Heat lead by 17. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Here's Ulis. Warren is out there with Williams. Then there's Devin Booker. Then it's Ulis, and it's Bender in at the 5 spot. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns. And he comes up with the deuce.
The defense making it way too easy for him on that jump shot. He'll take that all night.
The Heat leading by 15. Dragic kicks to Bradley. Here's Johnson, laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
You know, very effective possession. You won't miss too many shots from that close range.
Now, here's Ulis. He's guarded by Dragic. It's going to be out of bounds. The Suns will retain possession. The Heat making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. Here's Williams. Shot clock at 6. He feeds it to Booker. Good. The nice assist for Williams. Williams has got 5 assists in the game. And it's Dragic off the drive. Doris, so many rookies come into the NBA and talk about the physicality of the league. I also think they talk about the speed of the league and the difference from college to pro. Just how physical and just how fast is it for these kids?
Let me give you 2 visions, okay? You've got 6'8", 200 and maybe 60 pounds, right? LeBron James coming at you full steam, and you're looking at hulking shoulders, defined arms and legs, and you're thinking, I don't think it's in my best interest to take a charge. No way, no how.
Isn't he intimidating when he's on that kind of track and coming down with no governor?
I'll say this. You know, if LeBron James is in transition or back to the basket and you're guarding him, you're going to feel it like it's football Monday.
Oh, and that's good as he hits both of his shots. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Now, here's Ulis. He's guarded by Dragic. And the slam dunk by Johnson.
And I love that the instant that steal was made, they were out in the open floor.
Aggressive and active from start to finish there, both with their defense and in transition.
And a wise move to call timeout there. They need to settle down a bit. They've been playing out of control at times here, and it shows with their turnover numbers.
Eric Bledsoe is checked in for Phoenix. Suns trail by 19. He kicks to Warren. Williams against Ariza. Williams passes to Bledsoe. Over to the wing. Here's Warren. Here's Williams. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
The line for your Suns, Allen Williams. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. And the second free throw, good. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Dragic kicks to Johnson. From 6 away. Here's Ariza. Battles through traffic and lays it in.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And it goes out of bounds. That one off Dragic.
Still Suns ball.
Bledsoe against Dragic. Bledsoe dishes to Bender. And Booker kicks to Bender. 6 to shoot. The good-looking shot from the wing.
The D looks helpless to defend Bender, a remarkable player who hits shots with a hand in his face all the time.
And it's slammed in by Ariza.
Boy, spotted his teammate on the move, put the assist perfectly placed out in front of him, leading him right to the rack.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Bledsoe with it. Now guarded by Dragic. Fires it up. No good off the back of the rim. The Heat leading by 20. To the right side. The three. That one doesn't drop.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. Chris Bosh is checked in for Miami.
Chris Bosh.
And here are the Heat now. They lead by 20. That's the most we've seen. And a moment now to discuss injuries. Something, Doris, that all teams have to deal with, the most players as well from time to time. Let's get your take on what's the key to staying healthy.
Well, I think obviously most professional athletes realize that they have a limited window with which to make money with their body. And so if you are smart from the time you enter the league going all the way through your career, you're doing the right things. You're getting the proper rest. You're paying attention to nutrition. You're getting massages. You're going to the chiropractor. You're taking all kinds of both proactive and preventative steps to stay healthy. From a league perspective, this is obviously crucial because they know that the players are their most important commodity. And so you're starting to see individual teams and organizations track the movements of their players, both in practice and in games. That kind of data is critical because if you see somebody wearing down, if the data is in fact telling you, okay, Dwayne Wade has run far too much in the last week, let's dial back practice. Let's sit him one game. I think the key is just continue to use data and continue to use what we now know and what we will know in the future to try to protect guys.
And Dragic gets it to go on the assist by Bosh. 10 points for Goran Dragic.
And just a little bit ragged defensively.
I've been the story all too often for them today. Too disorganized, not playing cohesive basketball at all.
Williams a screen. Here's Warren. The rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And the Suns with a completely new group on the floor. And a new group getting ready for Miami. Lee's checked in for Johnson. Justice Winslow comes in for Johnson. Patrick Beverly, he's checked in for Bradley. And it's Mills in for Goran Dragic. Mills passes to Bosh. And Chris Bosh with the slam.
This is what he does for this team. Provides consistent scoring that helps them get the lead and keep it.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Miami.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so checking out their record tonight, that'll mark win number 32 overall.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone. I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Bosh. He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
.103 left in the fourth quarter. Kicks to Dudley. With some arc. Yep, that one goes.
And really, if this had come just a little earlier, they may have been able to get back into the game.
Oh, great point. I mean, this is how they wanted to start the game off. Unfortunately, a little too late.
That shot, no good. So Phoenix will take it the other way. Pass to Moore. Len dishes to Dudley. No good on the triple. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And Mills kicks to Lee. Over in the corner, Dudley. Knocks down the 3-ball.
Well, that shows a sign of maturity, guys. Everyone expecting Knight to try and score it. Instead, he finds the open man.
Pass to Magruder. Wing shot on the way. That's short off the rim.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
No, and it looked like he got a bit ahead of himself and just couldn't pull back.
And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Chris, what is your approach to going out and playing, and how does that fit in with how this team plays well together?
Well, I mean, it's just energy and belief. It's the belief system. You know, we all work hard. I work extremely hard, and you know, when I go out there and just play and don't think about it and play with energy, you know, good things happen.
It certainly happened tonight. Congratulations on the win. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time. But first, the post-game show with Ernie Johnson just a few aisles above us.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thanks, Kevin. Now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Chris Bosh. There was obviously some discussion at halftime about how to get him more involved. He completely dominated the second half.
He's a road warrior because he was on that edge in that game tonight. Oh, my boy. That's what we don't always see from this guy. But tonight, road warrior.
Well, I've noticed when Chris Bosh has that look in his eyes, and you know what I'm talking about, Shaq, that look of determination. He's going to make a mark in the game anyway and from anywhere needed. That was the difference there tonight.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. I hope you have a wonderful, even beyond wonderful, spectacular, just great. I mean,